Hello everyone, this is Mahesh and I'm going to read you a Chandamama story. This story is from November 1977 issue of Chandamama, The Bewildered Giant. There was a flood of moonlight. The wood looked enchanted. So did the glade and the silver brook that cut across it. The princess stood alone, holding on to a champak tree overflowing with golden flowers which delighted the region. Suddenly, what should she behold but a giant popping up from the nearby slope? The princess sighed. "Why did you sigh?" the demon asked. "To be frank, I least expected to see a giant on such a wonderful night," said the princess. After yet another sigh, she said, "In fact, I was expecting the Prince of Horizon." "Prince of the Horizon?" The name sounds so familiar. "Who is he?" queried the giant. "All I know is he is a brave and charming prince. There was a prophecy that he will come to our rescue. But now all seems over," said the princess sadly. The giant too looked sad. "I am sorry, and no less surprised that you do not faint at the sight of a giant like me," he observed. "What do you think of yourself? Only if you knew the sort of giant we had to face earlier. Why do you think we are living in a forest? It is because a terrible giant laid waste our capital. Many were devoured by him, many escaped. He had a special fancy for the royal brood. That is why myself and my parents had to flee the castle," explained the princess. "Your story sounds quite familiar to me. Isn't that rather strange? I feel sort of bewildered. But more than that, I am hungry, as hungry as a giant." "No wonder, for you are a giant," the princess reminded him. "I am indeed. But do you by any chance know what is the usual menu for a giant at night?" "Something queer has happened to my memory. I don't remember a thing," lamented the giant. "I never knew that a giant could joke. Well, I know very well, as do you, that I cannot escape. Eat me if you must. But please promise that you will go away satisfied with me alone. You will spare my poor parents," said the princess while struggling with two obstinate tears. "Eat you?" shrieked the giant. "Eat you?" he shrieked again at a higher scale of his voice. "And eat you, the most beautiful and the most sweet princess," he yelled at the highest pitch before breaking into tears. The princess stood stunned. "This is strange. Whoever has heard of a weeping giant? At least not I. Nor have I read about one in the books of fairy tales," she murmured to herself. Even stranger thing was happening before her eyes. As the giant wept, he seemed to be getting smaller in size. "You must stop weeping. I have already started believing you. You certainly don't mean to eat me. But you have to eat something after all. Wait, my parents have gone to sleep. It should be easy for me to bring my share of the dinner for you." The princess darted off and returned with some fruits and a tumbler full of milk. "Do you know, trees around our hut would lean down so that we can pluck their fruits easily. A wild cow appears before our hut and continues to low until we have milked her. Such is the ultimate climate of love that prevails in this forest. No wonder that even a giant, no doubt you are a gentleman giant, should feel against eating me," observed the princess. The giant had already gulped down the milk and was busy munching the fruits, all the while blinking at the princess, as if trying to understand what she was saying. And as soon as he finished eating everything, he broke into a fairly loud wail and began further reducing in size. "What ails you, gentleman giant?" asked the princess. "What a nasty giant I am! I wolfed down your entire dinner," he sobbed out. "I know that people pale and thin with weeping, but I never knew that one could reduce all round in size like a melting snowball by shedding tears," remarked the princess. "I am quite bewildered myself," said the giant, still weeping and reducing faster than before. Soon he looked no bigger than a toy. "It is time you stopped weeping altogether. Otherwise hardly anything of you will remain," cautioned the princess. "Really?" The giant not only stopped weeping, but also sported a smile, and to the great surprise of the princess, he soon began to laugh. and now that he was toy of a giant, his laughter sounded like twangs of a veena. What is there to laugh at the prospect of your getting reduced to the vanishing point? Asked the princess. Why, don't you see the point? If I vanish, I won't have to gobble up your dinner. You won't have to famish on my account, replied the giant, and he laughed even more ravingly, his laughter now sounding like the notes of a flute. He frolicked and romped like a squirrel, and before the eyes of the amazed princess, a strange change came over him. He turned into a bird. Now I understand, he whistled. When a giant weeps, he diminishes. When he laughs, he changes into a bird. You can't imagine how sweet you look, said the princess, dancing and clapping her hands. I will like you to remain with me forever. I will feed you with the best of fruit. Only a little piece would do, sweet princess, and I will love to remain with you. But still I feel a bit bewildered. You will sing to me, sweet bird, and I will sing to you too, said the princess enthusiastically. Will you? Please do, sweet princess. Maybe my bewilderment will be over if you sing, said the bird eagerly. The princess began to sing. It was a song about the moonlit night and the twinkling stars, about a moon who was all smiles and a little cloud which had lost its way. The princess for a while had fixed her gaze on the sky as she sang. Look here, princess, I am no more bewildered. The human voice now was near to her. The voice now sounded entirely human, the best sort of it. The princess turned to look around, and what should she behold but a handsome youth smiling at her? Don't tell me that a giant turns into a young man when he listens to a song, said the princess, and she observed to her great thrill that the young man's appearance squarely fitted the vision she had of the prince of the horizon. He does, O princess, if he was originally a young man who had been changed into a giant. The young man explained with a soft bow and said further, I am the prince of the horizon. I had to accept a spell and grow into a giant myself so that I could kill the real giant that wrought havoc in your kingdom. I killed him, all right, and let me hurry to inform you that your land, castle are restored to you. But then I forgot who really I was. It is you who restored to me my true life. The prince bowed in gratitude. But is it not you who destroyed the giant and restored us our true life? Murmured the princess as she bowed in gratitude. They talked and talked till the king and the queen woke up, and a few days later, after they had married, they paid a visit to the forest one moonlit night, and it so happened that both of them muttered simultaneously, I feel a little bewildered. And it so happened that, looking amused at each other, both simultaneously asked why, and it so happened that both replied simultaneously, I wonder if I deserve